LeBron James put on a couple hats on Twitter. I think part of it was him speaking as an ambassador for the game of basketball in the NBA. And I also think this was the fan in LeBron coming out. He tweeted, "They all didn't want to listen to me about the start of the season. I knew exactly what would happen. I only wanted to protect the well-being of the players, which ultimately is the product and benefit of our game. These injuries isn't just part of the game. It's the lack of pure rim rest before starting back up. 8, possibly 9 All-Stars has missed playoff games, the most in league history. This is the best time of the year for our league and fans, but missing a ton of our favorite players, it's insane. If there's one person that knows the body and how it works all year round, it's me. I speak for the health of all our players, and I hate to see this many injuries this time of the year. Sorry, fans. Wish you guys were seeing all your favorites right now." He went on to say, and I like this part the best. He said, "And I know all about the business side too and the factors that go into that, so don't even try me. I get it. And prayers to the claw." So obviously LeBron James was frustrated, as it looks like, and we don't know. We'll see more later in the day and in upcoming days. Kawhi's got an ACL injury. We just don't know how serious it is. And the Clippers, I mean, they fought back against Dallas to win that series in 7, and then they fought back against Utah to win games 3 and 4. And hell, they even won game 5 without the services of Kawhi last night. LeBron's frustrated because Kawhi potentially could have a serious ACL injury. And if it ain't super serious, like a tear, the worst case is more times than not, he's going to miss significant time in the playoffs. Like the next couple games, the Clippers are going to be without one of their main guys, which obviously hurts the product. And I'll be honest, I watched some of that Clippers-Jazz. I watched the Clippers-Jazz game. A lot of that game, I was happy for Paul George, but damn it, it's taking some steam off that series, not knowing that Kawhi went out there. Dang, man, that hurts. And then when you hear LeBron talk about 8, possibly 9 All-Stars out, Chris Paul is out to COVID, and it's a good chance he'll miss game 1, game 2-ish for Phoenix against whoever comes out of this Jazz Clippers series. Let's talk about that in a different video. That's a different scenario for me, but I do want to talk about what LeBron said. First off, LeBron's got every right to speak on this and be upset about it, right? Number 1, he's one of the greatest players to ever play this game. Number 2, not only is he one of the greatest players, I would argue I don't think too many people would argue that LeBron's taking the best care of his body. Like the way he looks in year 17, year 18, it doesn't make any sense. What he's still able to do on a basketball court from a physical spectrum, this dude he is one of a kind with the body. So we should listen to somebody, anybody. I don't care what you do. When LeBron's been able to hold up in his body, you could literally put side-by-side images of Bron in his, let's say about around the 5th year when he really got his body in the NBA with yesterday. And LeBron, I mean, he might look better in his 30s, late 30s, than he did at 24, 25, which is when you're after your athletic peak, correct? So, like, LeBron, he's put in the work. He's one of the best in the game, and he's still playing at that level. And what I love about LeBron is not only does he understand his business, he's always understood the business of the NBA. A lot of athletes have cheated it. You know, I got to be real with you. It bothers me seeing athletes sit out when they're quote-unquote really healthy, but just don't want to give it a go. LeBron ain't never did that. He's tried his best to get his behind out there more times than not because he's like, yo, I don't know what tomorrow holds. I don't want to say I left anything from my career on the table. But part of that means the NBA needs to put LeBron and other stars and athletes in general in the best positions to do that, to be able to get out there to the court. And the NBA didn't do that. Now, it's not the NBA's fault. I want to be fair. Adam Silver and company had a tough one on their hands. COVID stopped things last year. NBA had to get that. They needed that close to that season. And you got the Lakers winning the championship, which is ideally what you want. Now, you would have liked for Giannis and the Bucks to get to the finals, or somebody a little more formidable than the Miami Heat from a ratings perspective, because it was in a bubble. That didn't happen. But you still got the Lakers winning the championship. LeBron getting a ring is one of the better case scenarios that could have happened in the bubble, right? You had to close that season out. You did that, but essentially what you did was cost your next year. So I hope that bubble was worth it. Recouping that bread, hope it was worth it. Because, this regular season was awful to me. Ratings surprisingly wasn't as low as you would think. But the product wasn't good. I watched it. The product wasn't good. I think the ratings thing not tanking as much as a lot of people thought was more about people just being in the crib because of COVID. The things about to heat up. And people knew they were going to be outside all summer, so they were just kind of hanging around at the crib more than usual because of COVID. You look at the play though, man. Every night, every Wednesday game on ESPN, at least 2 stars were missing in a doubleheader. Like it literally never fails. 1 star in one game, 1 star, and you're like, bruh, I want to see the best go at it. Like it's tough to go to a bar and really enjoy a game when stars are not there to do a watch party with your friends, or hell, go to a game. When fans were allowed back in, it's tough because you don't know who's playing or not. And I think they did hurt the product. And LeBron's saying, yo, look, I'm not saying every injury was because of that, because LeBron's injury was a freak accident. Solomon Hill bumped right into his ankle. Could that injury have happened any year? I'm sure it could have. But we have to be honest about this part. LeBron tried to rush back because there were a few less games and because the playoffs were so close. He tried to rush back and had to sit it down again. That clearly was a proponent of the schedule playing every other night. They essentially had to play the playoff format in the regular season pretty much. Every now and then a team got 2 days rest in between games. But for the most part, it's literally after a game, you get up out of that city, you go to your next destination, you get a few hours of rest on that off day, but the next day you're playing again. And that was... Look, I know they rich and I know they privileged. That's a lot, though. I know it's PJs, all that, but you hear LeBron talking, man. That man understands all aspects of it. He knows him and the NBA get money together. He knows how valuable the NBA's been to him. He ain't just the guy that's just all for self. He said, look, man, I do the work. He's like, yo, if y'all ain't going to trust me on anything else, bro, I put the work in my body. He's like, yo, I do this. I'm him. That's what LeBron's saying. I'm him when it comes to the body. Like, maybe I want to say he ain't the most winningest athlete. He ain't got the killer mentality like Michael Kobe. I get it. And I think LeBron gets it. But he's like, yo, hold on now. Even Mike and Kobe ain't got me in the body direction. They wasn't who I am in year 18. LeBron's like, yo, like, hold on now. This is my expertise. If I don't do nothing else right, I got the body. You know what I mean? Like, this is my lane. I'm telling y'all this was a bad idea. But LeBron was like, look, I understand the NBA's position. They didn't have a lot of better options out there. I think maybe extending the season through August or September and just dealing what comes with battling against the NFL and college football, to me, would have been better than speeding that thing up and trying to get it back to as close as back to normal as possible for this season and this playoffs, right? I think it would have been better to get the season to end around August, and start the next season up in November. It gets you an earlier start than last year. Obviously, only but so many teams will play. I'm talking about like get in, get out by the second week of August. Because I know it's a short turnaround, but at least the regular season could have been better spaced out. I think that would have been better. Like you wouldn't have started last year in December. You maybe could have started in January around Valentine's Day if you would have gave the season through August, middle August. I think that would have been a better approach. That's my opinion. NBA decided to do what they did, and LeBron's saying that they paid for it. The product is the fans are paying for it, actually. Y'all let me know what y'all think about it in the comment box below. I know I kind of went long here, but interesting conversation, man. Has the NBA product hindered your experience? Has injuries hindered your experience with the NBA product? How bad has it been? Or have you been able to enjoy the playoffs for what they've been? Let me know. Comment box below. I'm out.